Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, the 4th Veterans Village opens its doors to house our veterans in need. And we tell you how one veteran in Ward 2 is giving back and making a big difference in our community. The councilwoman who represents Ward 2 is Victoria Seaman. She joins me now. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
You're an old veteran now.
Yes, I am. My second show. I'm a veteran now. So thank you so much for having me. I just love coming on and talking to folks about the ward and what's happening.
I know that is the case because you have hit the ground running. You have not slowed down an iota since being sworn in July, and you're just keeping this very busy pace. We're going to talk a lot about what you're up to in this show today. I want to tell everybody, maybe you're not exactly sure where Ward 2 is located. We're going to solve the mystery if you're not sure. It's basically the area of town west of the Rainbow Curve, that orange area, appropriately enough, with the 2 on it. If you live in that area or work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas, and you're represented now by Victoria Seaman. That area west of the 215 is really growing again.
Oh, it's growing tremendously. Yeah. I'm very excited about it.
During the recession years, things slowed down across the valley out there too, but boy, it really turned around now. So
a lot going on in Ward 2.
Exactly. And case in point, we love this. You're a big supporter of veterans. We're going to talk a lot about that on today's program. But you posted this on Facebook. You said, very proud that the City of Las Vegas is a partner on these wonderful projects. We're talking about Veterans Village to benefit our magnificent veterans and their families. And you're posing there with Arnold Stock, who is the driving force behind all of our Veterans Villages. Councilwoman, these are so important. It's a place to provide, it's housing that we provide for our veterans in need, right?
Right, and we do need that low-income housing, and we do need a place where when people are in times of need, they have a place to go. So this is a really exciting time to be in the City Council because we are partnering with so many people to help our homeless community and provide this low-income housing. So it was exciting to be there, and I'm excited about the work to come. And might I say, when you said earlier, we're doing so much in the ward, I have a great team. You need a great team here at City Council and my staff, and we're able to do so much.
Brian, David, we met them on your last program,
right.
You know, and so just doing a great job of keeping everything straight. And you have Bree now too,
right.
Who's also joined your team. So very good, and it's like I say, you can't get anything done without having a great team. And there you are with Arnold Stock. He's really a former city employee. I don't know if you know, he used to work here at the city. He had a passion for helping veterans, and he has carried that into his work here today. These facilities really are the difference oftentimes for veterans who are kind of right on the edge of homelessness. This is the difference between being homeless and having a place to live, and,
right.
and he provides it.
I'm really glad we're partnering up with him.
Yeah,
I really am.
All the way around. And then, Councilwoman, you are new to the City Council, but you got to pick your first Citizen of the Month. The council rotates. They always will go through and take their turn on choosing a Citizen of the Month. You did that this time. You posted this on Facebook. So proud to have my first Citizen of the Month, Metro Officer Daryl McDonald. He's a true public servant both on and off duty, and he really is. He had an impressive story. He obviously is a public servant as a police officer, but he also does an incredible amount of volunteer work in the community.
And this was absolutely a no-brainer when I was asked to pick a Citizen of the Month, because this man, even if you talk to his fellow officers, he's always the one to volunteer for anything that they're doing. And when I met him, and he was actually serving at California Pizza Kitchen in his uniform for a charity.
That's right.
And that's exactly how I met him. And when I got to know him, I realized that this is truly a man who is giving back.
Now, he's an amazing individual. He went to UNLV and studied art.
That's right.
And so a lot of what he does now, he volunteers to provide art projects for whatever organization might need something. He'll donate art that they can be auctioned off, you know, at silent auctions or at auctions to help benefit whatever charity calls on him.
Right, and he won't sell it. He only makes his art to give away to charities so that they can benefit from them. Very interesting. So when I met him and he told me about his art, I immediately recognized some of the art that he had done for some of the charities.
See?
He's an amazing, amazing artist, amazing person, and his story, the day we honored him, was also very amazing to see where he has come from. He had a very rough childhood. And he is giving back to the community, and just a great shining star for our city.
He is. And again, a public servant on and off. He's got a heart for obviously protecting the public, and then a heart for helping the public as well. So
that's right. So again, he was the first person I thought of when I was asked to have an honoree. So.
Well done. Yeah, I think your first choice is an outstanding one. So very good, very good. And then, Councilwoman, I'm excited to talk about this. You've started so many new things since you've been in office, only a couple of months now, but you have a couple of programs I want to tell everybody about. You have Small Business Sundays, right? So tell everybody, what is Small Business Sunday and what are you doing with this? This is an exciting program.
This is a really amazing program. What we do is we get small businesses in Ward 2 to reach out to us, and we come out and talk about their business and promote it every Sunday. We have a new business that we're promoting, and this has become very popular. We have a lineup of businesses that we're going out to and filming for this, and it's just a way to get people to know who the local businesses are. We want to support our local businesses, and this is the best way, is to promote them through my social media.
Yeah, your social media on Sundays.
And I've learned about several businesses that I didn't know about. So
I know we were talking about that. I live in Ward 2 as well. It's like I didn't know that this business even existed, but it's a great way for, of course, the business to get the word out, but then for the community to know what's right in their own backyard too.
And I want people to reach out to me so we can film their business. So.
Right. If you have a small business out there and you'd like to be a part of this program, I'd encourage you to take advantage of it. You can contact us here at the city, 702-229-2420. And then you also have another program, which we call Breakfast Buzz. And this is just a kind of a informal way to chat with your constituents over breakfast, right?
Breaking bread together. I love this Breakfast Saturdays. We do it once a month. We've had 2 already, and we'll continue it because it's a very, very popular event. I mean, people come out.
They get to know. You got a big turnout here for this. Yeah.
Oh, yes. They get to know their neighbors. They share issues and concerns. And again, there's nothing like breaking bread with your neighbors.
You can kind of see from the video, it's just an informal, relaxed way to chat with your neighbors, chat with the councilwoman. Her staff, that's Brian Baltazar there on the right from her team.
That's right.
They're there as well. So if there's something going on in the ward that you want to make the councilwoman aware of, if you just want to connect with the council office and get to know them, these are great opportunities.
It's a very relaxed environment for folks to talk to us about some of their concerns and issues.
So again, the next one is coming up on October 12th. These are the details on Breakfast Buzz out in Ward 2. It'll be Saturday, October 12th from 9 to 10 at Makers and Finders, and that's on Festival Plaza Drive. So come on out and it's fun. Looked like the food at the last one was pretty darn good.
The food's been delicious.
So, and then Councilwoman, it's almost that time of year. It's coming up. Trunk or treat. This is a Ward 2 tradition. It's gone back many, many years. But we take part in Trunk or Treat every year. This is a great way. We'll have a movie. It's going to be Casper, the Friendly Ghost. This is going to be Saturday, October 12th, 6 o'clock as the sun is going down. Now, this is going to be at Bruce Trent Park, which is at Vegas and Rampart, basically.
And this is a tradition that we will continue because that movie in the park is amazing. People bring their kids. There's popcorn we provide. And I went to our first movie in the park since I've been elected, which was a couple of weeks ago. And it was so exciting to see the kids there. And
people come out. I know. They turn out. And a Trunk or Treat, it's a great opportunity. Kids can dress up in their costumes.
Absolutely.
They can go and get candy at each of the cars that are decorated out there. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
And we should mention, everyone, it's free.
That's right.
So it's good.
So we encourage you to come out and bring the kids.
Exactly.
And if you don't have any kids, come out anyway.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
Check out the movie. It's fun. So, well, Councilwoman, again, we were going to talk about some wonderful issues on this program, and to do that, we're going to take a short break right now. But when we come back, we're going to tell you about some efforts in Ward 2 to help our veterans in need. That's next, so please stay with us.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
Here in parking enforcement, we often hear,
but I didn't know it was a violation.
so we like to clear some of the confusion over the most misunderstood regulations.
Vacant lots, public right-of-ways, parking lots, and city garages are not free and open sales lots for you to unload your vehicle. Furthermore, if you're selling your car or truck to a private party, a bill of sale is required for proof of exchange. If you do try to sell in one of these areas, you're subject to a ticket and a fine.
So now you know. For more information, call 702-229-4700.
Welcome back, everyone. Former U.S. Army combat veteran Byron Brooks has been very active in our community assisting our veterans, and now he's dedicating his time to Ward 2. Byron joins us today. Byron, thank you so much for being on the show. It's an honor to have you here. Councilwoman is glad to have you and to partner with you because he's going to help you understand really what's going on in the veterans community, right?
Absolutely, and help to facilitate when we need someone to help us with our veterans.
Exactly.
So I've asked him to be my veterans volunteer coordinator.
Yeah, and help us stay plugged in on what's going on in the veterans community. This is a passion of yours, I take it.
It is, and thank you very much for having us here today.
Of course.
Yeah, it's a big passion of mine, primarily because I understand how difficult it can be from a transitioning standpoint once military personnel leave the military and enter into the civilian lifestyle and sector. The different changes that can occur that are both positive and sometimes negative in terms of veterans.
And you transitioned yourself being a combat veteran back into private life, right?
I have. I've been fortunate enough to do that twice because I did it once with Big Army, and then I did it again after resigning a position I had in working with the government overseas.
What are the big issues? What are you telling Councilwoman Seaman? What are the big issues that you see facing our veterans in Ward 2, but across our city?
That's a great question. So primarily, there's some very broad, issues and concerns that veterans have. Specifically for Ward 2, we're still on a fact-finding mission to support very specific veterans in Ward 2 for what their needs are.
Gotcha.
And we certainly had one event as a call out to bring veterans of Ward 2 together and introduce ourselves as supporters and
That's what I'm saying. You haven't slowed down at all since you've started. It's things like that where she's just really taken the bull by the horns
absolutely.
and run.
And that's why I'm happy to be associated with the things that she wants to do because they're legitimate and we're going to have real resources for veterans in Ward 2.
This is a passion for you as well. I know making sure that we take care of our veterans. Tell us about that.
Well, my grandfather was in the National Guard, my father was in the Navy, and my husband is a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yes, we've heard
but
that.
He did a couple tours after he retired from the federal government as an agent. He was in Afghanistan and in Iraq. So I just have a passion for veterans because they selflessly go out to protect our liberties, and I will always have a passion for our veterans.
Yeah, for sure.
And those who serve.
Byron, what as a community, what are some of the things that we can do? I know there's been a lot of encouragement to try to hire vets.
Sure.
But as a community, what else can we do to support our veterans? So sometimes I think we, like Councilwoman saying, we kind of take for granted they go out and protect us, but then when their tour of duty is over, their time of service is over, we just figure, well, they'll just figure it out when they get back, I guess.
Yeah, you know what, on that broad scope of things, certainly job placement is a big deal. Putting veterans back into the civilian sector workforce. Sometimes it's challenging. Primarily though, I can see it on both sides, both the veteran side and the hiring side from corporations, because veterans are relearning how to essentially describe what it is that they've done in the military in terms of how that experience correlates or relates to a position of management or upper management in a corporate setting. So there's some challenges there, and there's some challenges from somebody who might be hiring veterans and really being able to understand what those capabilities are and what job classification they might fit best in for that corporation.
Gotcha. Councilwoman Byron, what do you hope, what are some of the things that you really hope to achieve for veterans here over the next, with the time you're in office? What are some of the things you guys think it would be just awesome to be able to accomplish?
Really let veterans know that we're here to help them, and they can come to us and we will help them find resources. Also, Byron's introduced me to, there's certain classes where people can go out and learn how to detect suicide. Suicide is a
huge
big problem
yeah.
amongst veterans, and that's a big concern for me. And Byron, I know that you can talk more about the program that we have, but if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't really know where these resources are.
That's so important. Fire service, veterans, police officers,
Sure.
much higher incident of
That's
committing
right.
suicide than dying in a line of duty.
Overseas,
yeah,
and it's
exactly.
really, I find it highly unfortunate, and I'm very sensitive to that because I know the amount of work and sacrifice, particularly veterans and first responders and everyone truly makes in their line of duty. And to go from a place of overseas where there really is a threatful environment to stateside and not be able to really transition in the best manner, which would lead someone to suicide is something that we definitely want to be able to thwart.
Yeah, it's a serious problem. It's a serious problem. It's funny, the fire service, the police departments have crisis intervention specialists. Veterans come home, and without people like you, Byron, to kind of point them in the right direction, they may not connect with those resources as readily as if they were still, active duty.
Sure, and I appreciate that. And that's one of the things that we really want to build is that list of resources that veterans have. So if there is an issue, or if there's something they're concerned with, they'll be able to know where they can go to seek the help and the guidance that they need.
Yeah. Well, you're doing great work all the way around. So, Councilwoman, I'll give you a final word before I have to say goodbye to Byron, but this is exciting. And, I think this is just going to be so valuable. What we're talking about, veterans suffer from PTSD often when they come home from stressful situations, just like our police officers, just like our firefighters do. So having those resources available and having someone connecting them with the resources is just a valuable tool.
And like Byron said, we had our first town hall. We will have many more. And this is for everyone, not just veterans, but people that, families of veterans and people that will come out and learn about how we can help.
For sure.
Byron Brooks, great to have you on the program.
Thank you. I appreciate
Keep
your
up the
time.
great work.
Thank you.
And again, as Councilwoman said, Byron does this. He's a volunteer. He does this out of the goodness of his heart. So we need more like you out there. So
thank you again.
Thanks so much, Byron. And we're going to go ahead and take another short break. But when we come back, you'll meet one of the Senior Citizen Advisory Board members representing Ward 2. That's next. So please stay with us.
Ever dream of being in the movies? Why not bring the movies to you?
And cut! Coffee. That was good. We're going to have to go 10 more times.
Become a filming location today. Register your home and or business at nevadafilm.com.
If anybody needs me, I'll be in my trailer.
Welcome back, everyone. The city has an advisory board set to help assist seniors with anything they might need in the community. One of the board members is with us today. It's Vito Galati. He was appointed by Councilwoman Seaman, actually reappointed by Councilwoman Seaman, and he represents Ward 2 on the board. Mr. Galati, it's a pleasure to have you here. Your role on the Senior Citizen Advisory Board is very, very important to the city. You're advising the council on issues related to the senior community, and I know you did your research and it's like, you know what, we're going to keep this young man on the board. He's doing a great job. Yeah.
I did. When it came time to reappoint him, I said, well, I want to meet him. I want to have him in my office. And he came in and he was so passionate about helping seniors. We're reappointing him. I mean, he's an amazing man. Really wants to go out there and help.
Exactly. Mr. Galati, welcome to the program. It's good to have you here.
Victoria.
Why the passion? Why do you want to help the seniors in the community so much?
Well, I have to give you a little bit of background. I've been an educator for approximately 40 years, so I've been dealing with helping young people, and now that I myself find a position that I am a senior, not only as a selfish way, but actually seeing that my needs, and I realize that other needs, the community, well, we all have the same needs as citizens, and some of them are. And it's a unique in Vegas that I realized, being myself, that my children and grandchildren do not live in Vegas. So there's a certain amount, an element of reaching out. And I, not assuming, but there are quite a few that are in the same predicament that have children somewhere else. Yeah. And as such, being informed is very important for certain things. And but beyond that is I felt that I was doing something for the community. I was taken by where I live in Ward 2. It's a beautiful community. It offers everything. Even though sometimes it doesn't show as a walkability high rate on that, but if you really walk, you find that everything is accessible in certain areas, especially where I am.
The awareness issues for seniors. There are so many programs, things that are available that often seniors, especially if they've moved here maybe to retire, just don't know about.
Yes, well, that is a main concern, and hopefully we're working in the our committee is to not only to address concerns, specific senior concerns, but also is to centralize the information and hopefully to have all on a central website where easy access. And this way it would make it much easier. It's already challenging to have technology, and the seniors on technology is challenging. So developing something where easy access and having it out there would be very important. So and that's what I've been trying to do, is to reach out
and make that connection. So it's valuable to have this kind of insight. You know, you're trying to make a decision as a council member, the council's trying to figure out best course, and to have folks who are really living the experience advising it's a huge help, isn't it?
It is a huge help. And one of the things that Vito and I decided to do was have senior seminars to let them know.
Very good.
And like he talked about, the technology. Well, he is one that will go out and make sure he takes the flyers to the library and different places so that some of those folks who aren't on technology will find out about our events. But it's really important to have those town halls, I think, to let them know what's available to them. And we have one coming up very soon.
Yeah, this is really important, everybody. And Councilwoman, when you were in the state legislature, you had really a hand in seeing this legislation come through. But this is a senior guardianship seminar. It's going to take place on Friday, September 20th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I know some of you, depending on when you see this show, will be after the fact. Obviously, many of you will see it beforehand. But this is going to be out at the West Sahara Library. It's 9600 West Sahara. Great information on, explain what the whole guardianship program is about and why this came to pass, the legislation.
Well, Vegas Voice Ronna Goodman and Dan Roberts were really the ones who spearheaded the problems we had with guardianship laws in the state of Nevada. And if you had children, like he said, that lived out of state prior to the legislation we did in 2015, and something happened to your parent or parents, the children out of state could not be appointed guardian. They would be appointed private guardians, which would control your health decisions, your monetary decisions. And so in 2015, with the help of Ronna Goodman and Dan Roberts, we changed that legislation. And through the prior years, 2017, they were able to create a lockbox, what's called a lockbox, in Carson City in the Secretary of State's office, where you now can choose your own guardian if something were to happen to you.
We had some abuse.
We had some abuse.
That took
April
place
Parks is now in prison due to the abuse that she caused so many families, thanks to Attorney General at the time, Adam Laxalt, who saw what we were doing through the legislature. It was investigated. But I got to tell you, this was great legislation that passed, because not only can your children from out of state be your guardian, but you can actually choose who you want. So that's why this is so important, because we will explain to people how they can do it, have the forms there where they can choose their guardian.
Mr. Galati, I know this type of seminar, this type of information, this is the kind of thing that you guys want to make sure that the public is aware of and plugged into, the senior community specifically. So.
Well, yes, I urge, hopefully we will get a large turnout. I've seen it prior to the presentation that we're going to have it. It's very informative and worthy of really sending the message out to our seniors.
I wanted to ask you, what advice would you have for seniors out there that might be watching this program? What would advice be for you?
What I would advise them to reach out as much as possible to stay abreast of senior concerns and news and what the city of Las Vegas has to offer. And I will do the best I can to get the information out to Ward 2. I'm in constant touch, and whenever I have a question, Victoria is always there to answer. So I would advise to be receptive and be on the lookout for this kind of information.
Well, good. We'll make sure, we'll do our part in my office to make sure that we help get it out too.
Thank you.
Councilwoman, great job. Mr. Galati, Vito Galati, thank you so much for being on the show. Best of luck with the work that you're doing. Thank you for, again, another volunteer for the city. They get absolutely no pay for doing this, and it's work. It's not an easy job to be doing this, so we thank you for your service to the city.
Thank you very much.
So, and Councilwoman, want to tell everybody out there, hey, we always want to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilwoman Victoria Seaman, you can always find her on Facebook and Twitter. She's also on Instagram, in fact. You can also contact her by picking up the phone. Her number is 702-229-2420, or send her an email. Her address is vseaman@lasvegasnevada.gov. And she or one of her great staff will get back. You always do.
Absolutely.
So, well, good stuff. Well, Councilwoman, we'll see you back here in another 6 weeks with another update from Ward 2. In the meantime, we want to tell everybody out there, thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on September 26th with Ward 5 City Councilman Cedric Creer. You can now catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.